Creating with me, Monica. I kind of like that title, if I haven't said that 100 times already. We've all seen old vintage books that we've taken apart and then we've put signatures in them and all of that. But sometimes the books only have a front cover or a back cover, so you feel like they're of no use. Like if you're going through, like I know some of my mom's old books and there's only a front cover and I think, oh, I can't use them. And then I saw somewhere, I'm not sure if it was one of the Stampington magazines or Cloth Paper Scissors magazines, I'm not sure. They showed how to make a clipboard with just the one cover. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do today. It's so cool. So I've already gessoed this cover. So there's the cover there. Some of them, let me show you, some of them still have writing on the back. Let me see. Like this one. And I'm making these for my craft sale. And I can't tell which is upside down. Oh, the writing's both ways. And I'm leaving this on the back. And I'll put a label there saying what it is, but I'm not taking off the old because otherwise this could be cardboard, it could be anything, okay? So for this one, I'm going to, I think it's part of the charm is that it's a vintage book cover. So we've got our book cover here, and then I've got an old clothespin that used to be, had a little felt flower on it, and the felt embellishment wasn't that cute. So I peeled it off, and I took a large flower that I had, and I'm going to glue that on, and it's going to become the clipboard accessory for the clipboard to clip things to. But before I do that, we're going to decorate our book plate here. It's not even a book plate, it's a book cover. So let me widen out a bit. Oops. There we go. And so I've already, like I said, did white gesso on here. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take some Deco Art crackling medium. And this one's almost empty. I'm just going to glob that on there and just paint that on there. I'm going to let this dry, then I'm going to put another coat of gesso on top. So it's just white on white. So I'll let that dry. When I come back, when the other coat of gesso is on and dry, and then you will see the crackles. So I started getting a little carried away and I forgot about you guys. I am so sorry. So I added my crackle medium and it is still drying. And then if you see this here, bring it up closer. There. It's just some, you know, findings in my Brad junk thing. These are tiny little beads. And I just used extra, what is it called exactly? Extra heavy gel medium gloss. It is really good for things sticking. So I put a bit of it on, like icing extra thick there, and then I just put these little medallion-y things. I think I got these at the dollar store years ago. And then this flower and these and the beads. And then I was just going to add maybe some art stones, just a little bit, because I have to keep in mind the costs of how much I'm going to be selling these for, which is why I do not want to use or have to buy stuff. So that's why I'm using all this stuff. I mean, you can go out and buy those kits. They're actually called findings, and it just has a whole bunch of little bits of jewelry and stuff on it. But oh, my Lord, I have enough of that stuff, and I'm sure some of you guys do too. So I got these from Scrap and Abby. Her new channel is called Purple Cottage, but she sent me these as a gift. And so I'm just going to use these little mini stones. See how little they are? They're just little stones, literally. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of those around where I can see the gel medium. And what it's just doing is adding some really, really coolio texture to the base of our little clipboard. Just to add some interest. I'm just taking white gesso now. This should be dry enough, yeah. And just putting a nice coat of that over top. And the crackles will come through in a minute. And then also, I'm going to be painting our little, oops, that one moved. Our little jewelry bits here. I should have waited till they dried, but no matter, they will dry. That one keeps moving there. This can be a real pain to get them to adhere. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to paint the top part, and then I'm going to take the heat gun and dry the bottom and just let it really dry, and then I'll go over it with white gesso. So I'll be back when all that is done. Okay, I don't know what's causing this big shadow here, but anyway, I'll try and show you guys. It's hard when this is all white, but can you see the beautiful crackles up in here? Aren't they lovely? And then I'm going to turn this around. It'll be upside down, but at least you can see what I've done with those. See, with the little stones and the embellishments of stuff that I haven't touched for years. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that yellow Distress ink spray Delusions and a really, really skinny paintbrush, like so. I'm going to open it up and use it from the bottle and put some in like that. Then I'm just going to go in and around here. I'm also going to put it a little bit up in here, and then I'm just going to use my hand just to kind of, so it gives it a pale, it's not like painting, it's like really staining, and you can really see the crackles. So to try to get it, you know how you want to make it look like it's just random, but what I'm going to do is wherever I see major crackles, that's where I'm going to put the yellow. Like there's some right there. And then just take my finger. These are, I just think, the funnest thing to make. And what a neat gift. Everybody can use a clipboard. All of us. And a nice little clipboard. You could hang it in your kitchen. And just use, you know, use this little funky vintage clipboard that no one is going to have the same as you. So how fun, hey? And we all have these books and you think, oh darn, the other half of the book is ripped or destroyed and I can't use it. So what am I going to do with just one part of the book? We can always use the text in our art journaling, but then what do you do with the rest of the books? Just going to put a little bit more on there. Rub it. I could have used a baby white, but it's like 6 inches away, too far. I really like how it embellished down here. I love that. So it looks like I'm going to end up putting a lot of yellow on here, but that's all right. And when you paint with the stains like this, you end up, you can have different levels of color and depth. Instead of all the same, if you were to spray it, you can, like up in here, we can make it a little bit darker, and we're more in control. When you spray it, it just goes all over and you don't always have control. So let's put a little bit down here. Oh, I love, can you guys see this? The crackling? Oh, I just love this. I love how it's looking. So just a little bit more over here, and yeah, that's it. Less is more. So let's look at our clip, which is now dry. which is going to be right there. Isn't that the cutest for the kitchen? So next I'm going to do, I'm going to take, once this is all dry, I'm going to take some black distress ink and go around a little bit with black distress ink. Not too much, just around the edges and a few little spots on here. And yeah, so I shall be back. So I've been adding a little bit of black soot distress ink, and again focusing mainly on where the crackles are, because it tends to really show the contrast where there is some texture and contrast to show. And down here, so that I don't disrupt this too much, because I don't know how dry it is or is not. And then I did take a baby wipe and just kind of gently go over it so that it's not pure black, you know? I think I'll put a little bit more in the center there, because it kind of just right in here. And then just dab it with the baby wipe. There! And before you know it, you glue this on, and you have yourself a beautiful clipboard. I'm going to glue it on with, I am really loving this craft glue from Dollar Tree. I don't know how many times I can say how much I love this stuff. I should have put the cap on, which I must say, it comes with a cap attached to the lid. I mean, nothing better for a crafter. So I'm going to put a little bit of that on just for the initial hold. And then I'm going to add a little bit of E6000 so that we know it will stay. Just a bit. Close that up tight. So I'm going to mix the two together, kind of. I hope I don't make some kind of science experiment. And then I'm going to eyeball the center of my book. And there we have our clipboard. Now once that's all dry, of course, you'll be able to open and close the clothespin, but you can't right now. And the very last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take some white gesso on my finger, and I'm just gently going to touch the flower up a little, just a little. It's moving around because it's not dry. There we go. And just the random spot, you know how that goes. Just random white gesso. Just wherever. I just love white gesso on things. I really do. Don't know why, but I do. Just gives it that look to me. And just a little bit more on our, I'll call them findings at the bottom, our little findings. And that's too much. And that's pretty much it, guys. So there you have a clipboard on a vintage book cover. So we have this yellow one here. Make sure it's not gluing down because of the glue. Let me just fix the clip in the middle. I shouldn't have been messing around. I should just leave it alone. And make sure I'm not gluing my petals down. So I'll leave this one to dry. I can't really show you how to open and close it, but there it is. You see the flower and the findings. So there's that one, and then I did one before earlier. I had one of those butterflies that you get on the dollar store that also has a clip on it. So I used that one, and this one is dry already. And I added a little bit of, can you see the silver on it? Isn't that pretty? And then I used butterfly findings that I had. And then I put a little bit of silver on those. Isn't that pretty? I love this one. So there you have it. 2 clipboards. And before I finish completely, I might just touch this up with a tiny bit of gold. Where is my gold? I've got, that's not it. Here it is. Embossing paste. And again, I'm just going to use my finger. I find your finger is probably the best tool ever. And this will dry like pure gold. It looks so pretty, just like the silver did. And I'll just put it on the corners. Like that. There we go. And a little on our flower. I can add more to the flower, of course, when it's really glued on. I don't want to keep messing with it. There. So we have our 2 clipboards made with vintage book covers. And this one definitely has writing on the back, so you can see. And I'm leaving the little spots there, and I will put a little plate on here explaining what it is. I just think these are really, really, really cute. I don't want to lay that down there because it is wet. I will put this book cover there. There. Now you can see them. So there you go, guys. Give those a try. It's a great way to use up your things that you think you're not going to be able to use, like half of a book. Like, what's somebody going to do with that? Make a cute little clipboard. So we'll see you soon, and thanks for watching. Bye.